Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mouse Club podcast. My name is Marissa, and I am the host of this podcast. Welcome. I'm so glad you're joining. If you are new, welcome to the Mouse Club. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to this so you can come back for future episodes. This week, we have an incredible guest. His name is William O'Brien. He is known as at the Rocketeer on Instagram, formerly at that Disney guy with a Z. So you've probably heard his name on the podcast before if you are a returning listener, because he has submitted some responses for questions and things like that for previous episodes. He is absolutely amazing. He does impressions and he does different voices for different characters. And he was so nice to give us an interview with Mickey Mouse, which was very kind of him and very nice of him to take time out of his day to be with us. He also has a YouTube channel where he does these really cool things called discussions with other Disney stars and different Disney character voices, and he does vlogs, which I have really been enjoying lately, as well as an Instagram page where he shares a lot of fun Disney content with his wife. So that is super, super cool, and we're so excited to have him on. So I really hope you all enjoy this episode. I think you are going to absolutely love it, and be sure to check out all of his social channels before you head out of this episode. They will be linked down in the description box down below. So of course, really quickly, because I know you're dying to hear the episode, I'm going to do a quick little segment for some theme park news. So probably the biggest news of the week was that Halloween Horror Nights was officially canceled for the season, which was pretty inevitable. I saw a lot of people really hoping that it would happen, but the thing with Halloween Horror Nights is it's just in such an enclosed space. I don't know how they would have been able to do it with the scare actors, and scare zones would have been closed, and it was definitely there's a lot that goes into it. I think when they make these decisions, alcohol consumption is probably the biggest moneymaker for Halloween Horror Nights. So the fact that they probably wouldn't be able to sell alcohol to the capacity that they used to because people wouldn't be able to wear their mask is probably a big factor that went into it, as well as the fact that people might not have bought tickets for if there's no scare zones and other things missing like shows. And who knows how the haunted houses would have worked. So definitely feel like that was pretty inevitable that was going to happen, but it still is very sad nevertheless. I'm very sad for all the Disney trips we had planned this year. We were planning to do a trip in October for Halloween Horror Nights as well as Mickey's Not So Scary, which is not happening anymore, either of those events. So that is really unfortunate, but that is okay. Everyone's staying safe, everyone's staying healthy, and that is the most important thing right now so that we can all be around to go to the events next year. So that is probably the biggest piece of news. Something else that I wanted to say is there is a new movie coming to Disney Plus. It is called The One and Only Ivan, or Even. I think it's Ivan. It's coming to Disney Plus on August, and it is about a gorilla who knows how to paint. It's based on a true story, which is very, very cool. Also, very sadly, Regis Philbin passed away this week. His family said it was because of natural causes. Why can't I talk? Regis Philbin was a Disney legend and absolutely amazing. I will never forget when he was in Lilo and Stitch the series, just so full of life and so much character. And I definitely just wanted to mention him on the podcast because he was just such a special person and definitely held a big place in the hearts of so many Disney fans. So we definitely wanted to honor him this week and talk about that. So that is our Disney news for this week. And please be sure, guys, if you are not already, to follow us at the Mouse Club podcast so you can be notified for future episodes as well as participate in future episodes as well. And without further ado, we're going to have a quick break and then we will be back with William O'Brien, aka at the Rocketeer. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be very, very fun. I am very excited and very grateful that you joined. So I have a little intro for everybody listening that may not be following you yet, but by the end of the episode, I'm sure they'll be following you.
Okay.
So this is at the Rocketeer, formerly at that Disney guy.
Yes.
Rocketeer spelled EAR at the end, which is really cute. Nice little play on words.
Thank you.
So he's a YouTuber, Instagrammer. You're an impressionist. You're also an annual pass holder, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, awesome. You're a husband. You're a nostalgic Disney fan. So welcome. And do you go by Will or just William?
You can call me Will. That's fine.
Will? Okay, awesome. Well, it's really awesome to talk with our voices because we've been messaging and setting this all up, but never with our voices. So this is really exciting.
Yes.
Awesome. So you have Mickey with you, which I know we're going to hear from him at the end of the episode.
Is it time for me yet? Oh, not yet, Mickey. Just wait right there. Okay. He's so excited to be on your show. He needs to calm down a little bit.
We are so excited to have him here. That's going to be super, super awesome. So I have just some fun questions for you, just kind of introduce you to everybody on the podcast.
Okay.
Kind of introduce what you're about. So do you actually live in Orlando? Because I see you go to the parks quite often.
It looks like that, but no. My wife and I live up in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I did go to the parks on occasion. But yeah, it just somehow fate, as you would call it, got me up in Ohio, and my wife and I are big Disney fans. And if you visited our apartment, you could tell.
Yes, I'm sure. Even in the backgrounds of your videos, it looks really cool with all your Disney decorations.
Yeah.
And I was watching your vlogs, all your clothing and stuff. So cute. So do you guys, how often do you usually come down, even, I guess, before the pandemic started when the parks were open?
Before COVID, I think last year we went about 4 times.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
That's really exciting. And had you already had your trip planned recently when you just went, or did you plan it once you heard that the parks were opening again?
A little bit of both. We had this whole big trip planned for March. And we got the ultimate fast passes. We got Rise of Resistance. We got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Slinky Dog. We're going to build a lightsaber in Galaxy's Edge. And then COVID hit.
Right.
But then we actually went down to Florida with our family, her parents and sister, and we went to a vacation house. But then before we actually went down, a couple of days before, we saw the parks were opening back up. I did try to do the whole reservation thing, and I didn't get it. I was in the waiting room forever.
That's what I've heard.
And then after waiting for 45 minutes, sorry, all of our passes are gone for the day. I'm like, what? What happened?
No.
And so to surprise my wife, one of the days I saw that some of the restaurants are opening back up, we actually went to Topolino's. At least we still be able to see the characters. It was a different way, and I will be posting a video about our time there and how it was very soon. But with how they do the characters is each character, like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy, they're all very cute in their outfits, and the breakfast was delicious. They all get their little intros, and they come out, and there's a song playing for them, and they walk around, but they don't get close to your table, of course. But they do pose for pictures, which I thought was really cool. So we did that, and then before we left, I actually went up to one of the cast members at the front desk downstairs at the Riviera Resort, and I'm like, I don't usually do this, but I really don't. I'm not one of those pass holders I'm paying you, I deserve things,
right.
I'm like, hey, my wife and I are here. We are planning this big trip in March, and I'm not usually that guy, but I was wondering if you could, hook us up in some way. And he was able to get us in the first day for Magic Kingdom. So that's how we got into
that's so
the
cool.
park.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
yeah,
Neat. Cool. Yeah, I was curious because I know a lot of people from out of state or out of the country even had trips planned and then
yeah.
they kind of miraculously made it because the parks opened, but some people just kind of came just to see what it was like, so I wasn't
Right.
sure. Cool. And have you ever worked for the parks before or done like a college program?
I have not. It's always been a dream of mine, but life takes you another path, which is fine with me. Because if I worked in the parks, I would have never met my wife. So there's that.
Oh, okay, cool. So you met her through your job?
No, I actually met her on Instagram of all things. Uh, I was in Florida; she was in Ohio. Thought she was cute, kind of thing. I slid into her DMs. And like, hey, I think it's cool. We had a lot of interest, but she won't admit it. But I think she fished for me first. She'll be a little embarrassed about that, but I'm just joking. Because out of nowhere, I get all these like 10 plus likes on my Instagram page. I'm like, who is this? What's
Oh.
what's going on?
Hmm.
Even old pictures. And I saw her and made sure she was real because we live in that day and age. Uh, and we just hit it off. We talked on Instagram a lot. We both, you know, we're both religious. We're both religious. We got connected with that.
Hmm.
We connected with Disney, obviously, and then it went to talking on Facebook, becoming Facebook friends, and then a little over 3 years ago, it'll be a little over 3 years ago, um, I went on my first airplane ride ever up to Ohio to meet a person I've never met before, to a place I've never been before, and it's like we picked up where we left off. So yeah, and after I went back down to Florida, I told my mom and grandma and friends like I think I found the one,
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
um, but yeah, that's how I met her through Instagram. So yeah,
That's super cool. The Disney community definitely has changed completely because of Instagram. I feel like
yes,
there's so many ways to connect with people and meet people now, and it's really cool. Like this interview right now wouldn't be possible without Instagram or
right.
YouTube. So it's just really cool the connections you can make. And I'm sure one day me and my husband and you and your wife will probably meet up in the parks. I'm sure I can see it happening, which is super cool.
Disney double date,
Yes, exactly. So I was also going to ask, so you and your wife were both Disney fans before you met each other?
Yes, we were, and we wanted to have a Disney wedding. I'm pretty sure you've looked at this and researched, and some of your listeners too. It costs a lot
Yes,
to have a wedding at Disney.
it does for sure.
Uh, so the cool thing is, we went everywhere. It didn't feel right, and then we have the Columbus Zoo up here. Some Ohioans, and I can see why, compare the Columbus Zoo to Animal Kingdom because of the size of it.
Hmm.
Um, and we walked into their African Event Center, and it felt like Animal Kingdom. I'm like, this is the place. And then we went to one of our mini meetings, to get ready for the big day, and we were told that the chef got wind that we want a Disney themed wedding, and he apparently never shows up for these meetings. He comes in with this huge Walt Disney World badge with his name on it. Chef, I forget his name, and I apologize if he's probably listening. I don't know. And a Chef Remy, like a stuffed Remy. He's like, yeah, Disney's kind of in my wheelhouse. Apparently, he worked for Disney for several years, and he actually got recipes from Walt Disney World because he said, "How about we do tasting tables?" So we got a tasting table of Tony's Italian restaurant for Magic
Oh,
Kingdom, like authentic Tony's. We got Boma from Animal Kingdom. He's a big Star Wars fan, so we had before Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was a thing. We got Star Wars themed food, and we got food from Garden Grill, and then yeah, we still had a Disney wedding without it being at Disney.
that is so cool for real. That's so cool how the Disney magic can happen outside of the parks as well.
Yes,
So that's really cool. And I'm sure you incorporated some Disney touches, I'm sure, with your decor and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
A touch.
It's cool though. You can do so many like subtle ones, or some people go all out, which is cool as well.
Right.
So there's all different levels for sure. So that's awesome. So I really like your throwback intros for your videos. And then now
Thank
you
you.
have the new Rocket one, which is also very
Yes.
cool. So I know you talk a lot in your videos about how much you love the 90s era of Disney between the
Yes.
movies and the shows. So were you really a big fan when you were a kid, or did you more blossom into it when you were a teenager, an adult? Where did your love for Disney start?
As a kid, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
my dad and I watched Saturday morning cartoons all the time. You know, the Disney afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, watched a lot of what was it called before? Watched a little bit of Playhouse Disney, but it was mostly the '90s cartoons like Tailspin, Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
What else was it? Gummy Bears. I could go on, and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Um, I just feel like my love for Disney never died. I think it just got worse. Not really worse, but it, it it blossomed into even a more Disney nerd. And my wife will attest to that.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm the same way where I think as an adult, you can kind of appreciate the art more, and you can
Yes,
appreciate, especially you for how you do voices and stuff. You can appreciate the voice characters and all the work that goes into that. So I think I definitely agree with you. Over time, I feel like your love can only blossom for it
yeah,
because you learn all the behind the scenes and all the work, and it
yes,
makes it so much more special, you know?
for sure, definitely. To see like one voice actor, Jim Cummings,
Hmm.
sprinkled all over the Disney afternoon. He's
Yes.
uh, he Don Carnage. He's Darkwing Duck. He's Pooh and Tigger. So he's just an amazing voice actor.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's really awesome. I definitely have some of those too. I am not good with voices. The princesses are more my forte, but
Okay.
even those, but I have so many, especially for the classics, like all of the what's his name? The one who did the Mad Hatter and the
Oh
Cheshire
yes.
Cat.
I know who you're talking about,
Yes, I
but I
can't
can't
think
think
of
of his
his
name.
name.
Yeah.
But yes, I definitely appreciate all of that for sure because especially the one guy who does Alan to Duke, I think is his name.
Alan Tudyk. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
how they can do so many
Tudyk.
different voices. I mean, how you can do it too. It's so talented, which is so cool. So awesome. Well, so for those Disney movies and those shows from the 90s, are those your go-tos now, or do you like the more recent ones too? Like if you're on a Friday night just wanting to watch something.
Been watching a lot of Disney movies lately for obvious
Hmm.
reasons.
Right.
I guess it just depends on my mood. Like I'm a big fan of the '90s movies,
Hmm.
and the movies nowadays. Like I'm a big fan of Coco. I love that movie.
Yes,
Um,
it's so good.
I Princess and the Frog. You know, that's a good one.
Hmm.
But my all-time favorites, if you couldn't tell by my name, is the Rocketeer, and Hercules. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, my okay, don't kill me, but I actually haven't seen The Rocketeer. I know I
A lot of
need
people
to.
haven't. It's fine.
Yeah, but my stepmom, she tells me about it all the time. She loves it so much. So now, especially now that I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm gonna have to go look it up tonight and watch it because she's
Only
been trying
on
to get me to
Disney
watch it.
Plus.
Yes, exactly. That has been my best friend throughout this quarantine. Okay, so have you been to any other parks besides Disney World? Like, have you been to Disneyland or any of the international ones?
No, but I want to.
Yeah,
I actually did an interview with. Have you heard of Provost Park Pass? They're on YouTube. They're kind of big
I
a little bit.
haven't.
Okay, well, look at them up.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so it's Chris and Amanda Provost. They do a lot of these videos about like secret details of attractions, and they do them for all the Disneyland, and Disneyland's their home
Oh,
park.
cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look that
Um,
up.
but they've been to Disneyland Paris, Disneyland, and Disney World, and they
Mhm.
were planning this huge, like, Provost Park Pass World Tour. They planned it all out right before COVID hit. They were going to go to all the international parks, and when they got to Paris, their people said, their travel agents, like, yeah, let's go back to. You might want to go back down to Florida and take a cruise, and then when they got back home, the whole world shut down. So
Right.
I plan to go to all the international parks.
Hmm.
If Disney wants to sponsor me,
Right.
no big deal.
That's the
Because
goal.
as Mr. Gold says from Once Upon a Time, I don't know if you've seen that show or
Yes, I
seen the
love
meme.
that show.
All magic comes with a price. So,
Right.
I
It's
mean, I
very
want to.
true.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the same way. I also have them on my list. But yes, it's definitely pretty pricey, especially once you get to the Asian parks.
Yeah.
All of those definitely. Even the flights themselves are a couple grand. So
Yes.
yes. So I also, of course, we have to talk about your talent for character impressions. So when did you realize that you had this talent that you could do that?
um, Goodness. I remember in middle school, my
Hmm.
best friend and I were always fooling around, and there was this YouTube series, not YouTube, but website called homestarrunner.com.
Hmm.
It's appropriate, but at the same time, it's dumb humor. And my friend and I used to watch him all the time and talk about it, and then we started doing the voices. Like, he could do one voice better than I can, and we pretty much made our own episodes of Homestar Runner. And then Lilo and Stitch came out, and I'll try to, blue pants, brother, no pants, spot. I, I just did a lot of Stitch impressions. I might even done Jigglypuff from Pokemon.
Oh, that's
uh,
so cool.
it's still it's that range of Stitch.
Hmm.
Um, but Mickey Mouse, again, he'll come on later, and he knows I do the voice of him. He's okay with it. Um, anyway, but Mickey Mouse, I, I remember I went to a high school, a school of the arts. I was in the singing area, the vocal performance area of it, and Walt Disney Disney World at Epcot does the Candlelight Processional.
Hmm.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've actually done
Okay.
it twice.
Oh, awesome! I've done it. I've done it a couple times too.
Yeah.
Um, And what it is high schools from around the U.S. Send in audition tapes pretty much
Hmm.
to Disney, and they get, if you're good, your choir's good, they invite you to the park to do this candlelight processional in these really itchy costumes with these
Yes.
fake candles.
Very
That
hot.
Yes, and sometimes you do it during the day, and sometimes during the night. If you're lucky, you get the nights. And sometimes, I remember when I went, I had to do it 2 times in a row. Um, and there's even these candle police. Don't get me started, but I remember watching and trying to stifle a laugh watching these hooligans, these crazy kids, get taken off by the candle police.
Oh
Um,
no.
uh, and the candlelight processional is done by special guests. Like I did, my first one was Eartha Kitt. If you don't recognize the name, she was the original Catwoman,
Hmm.
and also Yzma, and she was
Yes.
Madame Zerodi in Holes, right?
Yes. She's
Okay.
terrifying in holes.
Yes, she is. But then on back to the story, and since Disney can't pay us because we're underage,
Hmm.
they give you Disney tickets. Did you get a Disney ticket after you did your performance?
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So the next, give 2 Disney tickets. One you can use anytime. Both you can use anytime up to the end of the year, all year to use it. So the next day, my class went to Magic Kingdom. There was Dream Along with Mickey on the stage,
Hmm.
and one of my friends said, "Hey, you can do Stitch." Mickey goes, "Oh boy," on the stage. "Hey, try Mickey." And I went, "Oh boy." He's like, "Whoa, that's really good." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, I kind of have something, I guess." And so I watched a lot of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on Playhouse Disney. And Mickey's Three Musketeers, and that's the movie when I realized I can imitate Mickey. Because a lot of people who do the impression go up here all the time. Oh, Pluto, I just love ya. And in the movie, Mickey kind of gets fitted, and he talks down here. Oh, Pluto, what are we gonna do? And I just try to emulate Wayne Allwine, the late great Wayne Allwine, as much as possible. And I've learned to do other voices too. I can do Chewbacca now. Who else can I do? I can kind of do Yoda. Yes. And then, do you remember Uncle Joey from Full House?
Yes.
Uncle J-Moose here. But yeah, long story short, that's how I got to starting to do voices, and I'm trying to learn new ones. I can also do the Cave of Wonders. That's a hot commodity. Now, Cave of Wonders. Anyway.
That's incredible. For real. They are spot on. That is so cool. Does your wife get tired of you practicing, or does she enjoy hearing it?
She seems annoyed by him. So I'm going to say that she loves him.
Oh my gosh. Yes, well, practice makes perfect. So.
Yes.
That is so cool. For real. It is so cool to hear all those voices. I heard you do the Chewbacca and the Yoda in your video, and I was blown away. It's so cool. Have you ever done them in front of the characters at the parks?
The one I do the most in front of the characters is Mickey Mouse. For obvious reasons. Like I remember one time seeing Pluto, and it's still a cool story, and I wish I had a camera at the time to record it. But when the characters have to go backstage, they can't really interact with anybody. They had to go back, and like Pluto needed to get some water and a dog treat. And I wasn't in line for him. I was heading into the park, and I'm like, Pluto, there you are, boy. Oh gosh, who's a good boy? And he stopped and started wagging his tail. Aww. It was the coolest thing. And then of course I had to go meet him, and I'm like, who's my bud? Who's my bud? And this 20-something-year-old man is scratching a character's head while the character's shaking his leg.
Oh, but that's so cute, though. I'm sure he enjoyed that.
I've done the voice to Donald, and he always asks, can you do me? I'm like, oh, I can sneeze like you, pal. That's about all I can do for Donald, which I actually did talk to Daniel Ross, the current voice of Donald. That was cool.
Yes, you guys have to go watch that on his channel, which we will have all the links in the description box as well.
Oh, gee, so cool. Thanks, pal.
Of course.
But yeah, me and him got to play. It was the coolest thing, and the fact that Donald said, "Hey, that's pretty good." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Right, that's the master himself.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I've been trying to learn other voices, and I like doing the voice of Mickey to the characters and cast members, especially the ones if some guest, were kind of non-Disney to them, and they looked like they had a bad day, and go, "Oh, gee, pal, do that frown upside down."
Oh, yes, that's actually something else I wanted to mention too, is watching your vlogs. I really appreciate how genuinely kind you are to all the cast members.
Oh.
For real, like in the vlogs, you're always like, thank you, I appreciate it. It's just so kind.
Especially nowadays.
Yes, now is a very tough time to be working in the parks, so my heart goes out to all the cast members and team members for all the parks. I can't imagine the struggle that must be happening.
For sure. Like I made sure I said thank you, and stayed my distance, made sure I had my mask on.
Yeah.
And I totally understand. Like we were in line for Pirates of the Caribbean. The longest wait we had was 45 minutes, and that's because they had to shut down the ride to clean all the boats.
Yes.
And when the guy came out and said, "I'm sorry, but it's going to take a couple minutes," I'm like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate it."
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for keeping me safe and healthy.
Right. I've heard that from my friends as well. I have some friends that work at Universal, and Their
Oh,
policy is
that
if,
park.
yes, the
I'm
other
kidding.
park.
I'm just kidding.
Their policy is if, sorry, that's my dog. If you can hear her snoring, she's sleeping right next to me.
Oh,
Their policy is if anybody takes off their mask on the ride, they have to wipe down the whole ride vehicle.
oh,
Yes, so they said it's been quite a process. So I'm sure, especially what you said in the beginning when you said you talked to that guy at the restaurant. I know as a former cast member, we definitely want to do things for the nice people. So we definitely
yeah.
appreciate it. But you have some people who come up and are angry and demanding things. That's definitely not the type of person you want to
Right.
do magic moments for. So I'm
I
sure.
planned my whole trip. We're down here, and now we can't get into the parks.
Right. Right. So I'm sure that they definitely appreciated it for
Right.
sure. Okay, cool. So I have a couple of games that we can play really quick before we bring Mickey on.
Okay.
So the first one, I wanted to know your 5 must-haves for a day in the park.
Oh, okay. Must-haves is uh, your phone for pictures. I'd say
Yes.
stay off of social media for sure. If need be, put it on airplane mode if you can.
Yes.
And just enjoy the park. You're there for the park. Maybe the Instagram bubble moments, but you can also post those Instagram bubble moments afterwards. I would say water. Bring water. It gets hot
Yes.
in Florida. I would say if you can, bring a portable fan or one of those cool towels.
Mhm.
If you can, bring a snack. You're allowed to bring snacks in.
Mhm.
Is that 3 or 4? I've lost track.
I think we're on 4.
Okay. Last one is oh gosh. What's my 5th thing?
I kind of put you on the spot, so I
You did.
understand.
Goodness. What would be a good 5th thing to bring? What would you bring?
Well, I definitely agree with the water.
Yeah.
That was probably my top choice. Phone for sure. Another good one, but it does take up a little bit of space, is a Polaroid camera.
Okay.
Those are kind of fun to bring. And then, depending on the water rides, a poncho or a change of
Yes.
clothes. Yeah.
Here it rains. That's it. The poncho,
Yes.
umbrella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good ones for sure too. But I also agree the snacks are really good because snacks can get pretty expensive in the parks.
Yes.
So you have to be prepared for sure.
I like a cup Mickey Cheez-Its, please. That'd be $10.50. What?
Right. It's so true. A bottle of water. Well, when I worked there, which was 2 to 3 years ago, it was $3. So the price has probably gone up since then.
Probably.
So, yes. Okay, so our last game is going to be rapid fire this or that.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 2 choices. You have to tell me as quick as you can which you'd pick.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Sure.
So the first one is Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom?
Magic.
Epcot or Hollywood Studios?
Right now would be Hollywood Studios.
So Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios?
Magic Kingdom.
Mickey pretzel or popcorn?
Mickey pretzel.
And Mickey sandwich or Mickey bar?
Mickey bar.
Turkey leg or hot dog?
Hot dog.
Churro or cotton candy?
Churro.
Churro. Monorail or ferry?
Monorail.
Fantasyland or Tomorrowland?
Tomorrowland.
Space Mountain or Everest?
Everest.
Festival of Fantasy or the Electrical Parade?
I like both of them. I'd say Festival of Fantasy.
And then last one, Wishes or Phantasmic?
What are you doing to me, Marissa?
The tough ones, I know.
What was the question? Sorry.
Wishes or Phantasmic?
Phantasmic.
I agree. I love
because of Torture Mickey.
Yes, he's amazing for sure. Awesome. Okay, well, it was great having you. I'm sure we're going to have you back in a few minutes after Mickey.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll bring you back to tell everybody your socials and everything else.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get Mickey on.
Mickey, it's your turn. Oh, finally. goodness. What a star. Okay, 1 second. All right, go ahead, Mickey. Okay. Oh, hi there, pal.
Hi, Mickey. How are you?
I'm doing swell. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to have you on the podcast.
Well, great to be here.
I just wondering how everybody's doing. How's the gang doing?
Oh, the gang is doing fine. We're glad everyone's back at the parks. It's good to see all the smiling faces. We know they're smiling with their eyes because you have to wear your mask.
Yes.
Let's see. I know that me and Minnie made lots of things. She tried all these different recipes. All of them were really good. Donald has been, with Daisy watching lots of movies, mostly duck movies, like the DuckTales movie and the Mighty Ducks. Goofy. Well, he's been goofy. He's trying to do these, at-home projects.
Probably spending lots of time with Max, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, he is. Max is trying all these new tricks on a skateboard, so we're all doing fine.
Excellent. Yeah, I heard you said Minnie's been doing a lot of recipes. I was wondering. I figured she was probably baking a lot.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm sure you're having lots of delicious treats.
I am. Lots of desserts with cheese in them. Wow. Like cheesecake and cheese cookies. Have you had a cheese cookie before?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you should try them.
I'll definitely have to put that on my list for sure. Awesome. And okay, so I heard that one of your parks, Magic Kingdom, is celebrating its 50th anniversary next year.
Yes.
Are you excited for that?
I'm super excited, pal. We had lots of things planned. We had lots of things planned before, but we're still gonna do them. I can't really go into detail right now because it's all a secret.
I completely understand, for sure. Awesome. I also wanted to know, Mickey, do you have any advice for anybody listening who might want to work for you one day?
Oh, I get asked this question a lot. So my advice for anyone who wants to make dreams come true, like my old friend Walt, is be yourself. You have to have a love for the magic and spread the magic for everyone. Doesn't matter where you are in the park. You could be working an attraction, a parade. You could be one of my friends who pretends to be another friend. You could be a bus driver, monorail driver. It doesn't matter where you are, because there are no small roles, and everyone has a part to make the dream come true.
That's for sure. That's a great advice, Mickey. Awesome. And then what is your favorite tip for someone visiting the parks for the first time?
Oh gosh, first one is visit me, of course.
Yes, that's a classic.
Make sure to get Mickey ears. There's lots of things to do for everyone. Make sure to get lots of pictures to remember the memories. Get an autograph book. Who doesn't want an autograph, right?
For sure. I definitely enjoy a good autograph. Awesome. And when you're in the parks, Mickey, I know you work a lot, but when you get to visit, what's your favorite snack to get?
This sounds kind of weird, but it's a Mickey bar.
They are pretty delicious.
I love Dole Whips.
Oh, Dole Whips. Yes. Very good. Very tropical. And what's your favorite ride while you're in the parks?
Which park?
Let's do Magic Kingdom.
Okay. My favorite one to ride there is it's a tie. The first one is Big Thunder Mountain, the wildest ride in the wilderness. I also like it's not really a ride, but it's kind of a ride. Is the Carousel of Progress, because it's kind of my connection to Walt, because that's one of the projects he worked on for the World's Fair.
Yes, that ride is amazing. That's a staple in my family as well. So I'm glad you like that one too. Awesome, Mickey. Well, it was so great to have you. Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners right now?
Oh, a quote that Walt Disney told me. And so here we go. All of your dreams come true as long as you have the courage to pursue them.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Mickey. Thank you for inspiring everyone. I'm excited that the parks are open. I know everyone's staying safe, so that's great news. And thank you so much for taking your time to come visit us.
And you didn't hear from me, but now you are an unofficial part of the Mouseketeers.
Oh, thank you so much, Mickey. That's such a joy.
Oh, you're welcome, pal. Okay, well, time to get back.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch, right? Yeah, we're gonna switch. So how was that?
That was awesome. Please thank Mickey for us. That was so kind.
Will do.
Well, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure.
Of course. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. It was so much fun. And please let everyone know what your socials are. So your YouTube, your Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Instagram is at the Rocketeer. That's Rocket with EAR. I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/the Rocketeer. I post a lot more on Instagram anyway. And YouTube. I'm trying to secure that Rocketeer name on YouTube. I am currently at 55 subscribers. I'm working on future discussions. I have the voice of the current voice match for Snow White getting ready to go.
Oh, awesome.
Interview her, and in the future, I might be talking to a certain mouse, the guy behind the mouse, and the guy behind Goofy.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as the Rocketeer.
Super cool. Yeah, I love your videos. I'm sure all the listeners will enjoy them too. They're very nostalgic. The vlogs made me my heart break today because I was like, oh, I want to go so bad. You have a way of really capturing that magic, which I really love. And
thank you.
Of course. And then we're also going to have all the links in the description box below. So if you guys want to, you can go check out the links down below. And yeah, thank you so much. This was so much fun. Hopefully we can have you back one day. Maybe bring Ashley on one day too. That would be fun.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. If you guys want to check out our social channels, it's at the Mouse Club Podcast on Instagram. And we will see you next week with a new episode. Bye, guys.
See you real soon.
Thank you so much for listening to the Mouse Club Podcast. To find us on Instagram, follow us at the Mouse Club Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Mouse Club Podcast or on our website, themouseclubpodcast.com, to find all of our episodes, links to our social channels, and our YouTube channel, which will be coming soon. To follow our host, Marissa Potts, that's me, check me out on YouTube, Marissa Potts, on TikTok at marissa.potts, on Instagram at Little Miss Maris, MRS Maris. Thanks so much for listening. See you next week. Bye.